I suppose. What happened out there tonight?
We were miles too open. You can't come to a place like this and not be compact. You know, we had chances in the game. They had chances. They were the miles better team. But you know, when we're a team that presses and you miss one challenge, you need somebody to follow it up and then back his mate up. But too many times they got turned and they had big open spaces to run at us and send the ball in behind and cause our two centre backs problems. Where it was 2v2, 3v2s at times. And you know, like I said, when you come away in a Champions League game, you can't be wide open like that. We have to get back to basics. You have to be compact. Because like I said, we created chances tonight. You know, we did, but unfortunately, we deserve this result. You know, the way we were wide open. They found so many spaces, especially in the first half. It felt as if they had an extra man, and that's not like us. You know, when you come away here, you have to, you know the crowd are going to be up. You know the players are going to react to that. And you have to be ready to fight. And I don't think we were close enough to our mate when they went to press the ball. I don't think people were backing them up quick enough. And when you do that, unfortunately, you get picked off like we did.
Yeah, and it was from the first minute as well. You hit the post. I mean, it was the worst possible start in some respects. You went straight to the penalty from there, and gives them the momentum.
Yeah, look, they hit the post within the first minute. And then they go and get a penalty, they go get another penalty, and then you know you find yourself 3-0 down quite quickly. But in between, you know, when they went 1-0 up, I think we had two good chances that you know might have been a wee bit different. But you know we can't dwell on that. You know, we don't want to think about that. Liverpool fans don't really care about that. We've been beat 4-1. We deserved it, and we need to waken up and quickly because we can't perform like that.
Thanks, mate.
Top man. Thanks, mate. Top man.
Well, fair play to Andy for coming out and speaking to us. You can see the stats from the second half there. And look, Liverpool came out, dominated the ball in the second half, but it was too little too late. The game was already gone. And actually, he made the same point that you made, Robbie, at the full-time whistle. You can't go there and be wide open. But I thought it was really interesting when he says as soon as you lose your man or you have a problem, your teammate needs to back you up, and that didn't happen tonight. So let's really get into Liverpool's lack of working as a unit, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, even this first clip with the penalty clip, and you have to say Napoli play really, really well. But when you look at his starting position, he freeze-framed this. The back four are actually in a very good position. Everything looks fine. When one player jumps out, you see Trent jump out here, he comes out, which is fair enough. The big mistake he makes is he gets attracted to the ball and comes out, and then you're not compact anymore. He doesn't follow his runner and get back into the back four. He comes inside. This is a big problem for me. That I've been saying this for a long time about Liverpool, and they've got away with it for a number of occasions now over the years, is you see this Gomez, and this could be any one of this back four, they do it if the two centre-backs, whoever plays, try to play offside. The man on the ball, look, zero pressure on the ball. How are you going to go and try and affect that in that situation? You can't. There's no pressure on the ball. You have to go over the runners. Gomez jumps, onside, and they're in a whole heap of trouble from this point on. Yes, players getting back, etc., but it's great play from Napoli. It's definitely handball from Milner. But they were forced into that position, and this is early in the game. Again, going behind early in the game, causing their own problems. This is 2-0. And I'll let the guys take over from there.
Yeah, I think what we see this one, we just pause a second, Rio. So we see Trent gives the ball away, and then it's the reactions afterwards. So you know he gives the ball away, gives it back to goes back to Gomez. So you're waiting for Gomez, and okay, we'll analyse Joe Gomez and say, well, look, he had a poor game, but now give it back to your keeper and get into shape. Right, let's be strong. But what I want to point out is look at Trent, Rio. So Trent there, so as a defender, you've got to be pessimistic. Andy Robertson said, you've got to think your teammate's got to make a mistake. And so you've got to be there ready to cover. But I want you to watch when obviously the play runs on. Watch his desire to get back. I mean, if it was the same desire it was to get forward, we'll be talking about Trent as one of the best players in the world. But he ambles into the picture. You know, and it's not...
So can I ask you then, is that someone that is lacking the awareness of the danger, or is that a footballer being lazy?
I think it's a bit of both, in all honesty. I think, look, I don't think we can question him. You know, certainly from a technical point of view going forward, I don't think we can question him. And defensively, we can pick him apart. We really can, because he doesn't show the same desire to get back as what he does going forward. And that's wrong. You should never do that as a defender.
What do you think, Ray?
I think when they get back here, it's not a bad position, though. So they've almost got back there as a 4. I should have knocked onto that one. So they've got a 4 there, and then they've got a 3 here. So they're not in a bad position. They've got 7 against 3, 7 against 4, something like that. What I think is the problem here is this man, Fabinho. I think actually where he is at the moment is fine. But what I want you to sort of notice is he's got to act as a centre half here. He's already got Gomez in the right back position, and we're under the cosh. Right, stay in your positions. But he actually comes out here and almost vacates his arm. When we watch it slowly, if he just holds his position, this never happens. But when he moves out of being a centre half, all of a sudden they're in. And you can say, yes, Gomez should, but that's not how it... Sometimes you get unorganised as a back four and you've just got to fill in. And I think he doesn't do his job properly and all of a sudden they're in. So, yes, Gomez gets done. Yes, there's problems before that. But I think Fabinho can do a lot better if he just holds his position and doesn't vacate it.
Yeah, there's saying in all of these clips, there's not one person it's down to. There's multiple people that are responsible for these situations. And you see it here, even here. They're actually in a decent position. Again, look at the back four. 1, 2, 3. You'd say, you know what? Not bad. It's all right. They're back there. They're in the shape to actually go out and defend. But this from Trent. You look at Trent. You say to yourself, listen. You want to get yourself in the best position possible. He's in a perfect position here to say, go on, I'll race you down the line or whatever. This, you can't defend him with this. He doesn't even change speed to get back and help his teammate. Or he's been embarrassed. Gomez gets bullied. Van Dijk gets beaten in the post. I mean, it's just a domino effect of errors. And when you look at a defender, the least you expect is effort. And I'm not seeing enough there. And that's not good to see. And that'd be something that would concern me being a manager of Liverpool Football Club. Just
click on 4-0, Ree. I just want to have a look at the start of this clip, actually. And this is a situation here where you can see Liverpool's formation. It's actually, you know, the 4-3-3 is as it is. But what we've got players out of position. So we've got James Milner in this situation here that's just filling in for Trent. Trent's trying to jog across and they're trying to reorganise. And if we just forward it slightly, here we see the reorganisation here. And now all of a sudden, James can't actually leave that position until everybody's back in place. So now what you've got is James should be here, James Milner, and then it would be back to a 4-3-3. So what happens is Napoli get out quite easily into the position that Milner would normally be in. So that's fine, you can readjust, and it only means that they've squeezed up to the halfway line. But then what happens is what Rio's been saying. As soon as you have that, players not pressing the ball, you simply have to be ready for these types of runs, whoever it might be, even from that man. You've got to be ready for that. If there's no pressure on the ball, yes, you can have a high line, but your body shape has got to be ready to go back with them. And
do you know what, Mo, as well? Do you know what, as well, Mo? If you go back to that little bit there, sorry, I was going to jump in there with you because it's such an important point. When the ball does get to the feet of the man on the ball, that ball's coming. We can see that now. He's opened up. His body shape is perfect. This is early in the second half, and it goes down. Robbie said it off air. Concentration and being ready for the second half. Van Dijk, look at his body language. His body is not motioning to be able to give himself an opportunity to go back that way. He's not concerned with going that way. I know that Robbie.
Again, it's Trent again. So Trent can see the danger. So as a defender, again, it's being pessimistic, thinking that, you know, it's the worst case scenario. Trent can see what's happening and still he lets him run off him. And OK, he nearly gets back, he nearly tackles him, but his reactions are too slow from a defensive point of view. OK, he sprints back there, he shows the desire, the ball gets played across, he nearly gets there. And then obviously it's a little cheeky dinky do, as Rio said.
And at half-time, they would have been in that dressing room going, listen, we don't concede early, we get back into this game. And they go out and do the complete opposite, and that comes down to concentration. And listen, when you're trying to get back into games, yes, you've got to be compact, but yeah, you've got to take care of the little details. And too often today they didn't do that.
And of course, at the other end of the pitch, that's the defending we focused on. They were stuttering, weren't they, in attack as well? So that's the inquest so far here in the studio. What about, though, from Jurgen Klopp? Well, in a couple of moments when you come back, we will hear from...
Bruising night. How do you assess that setback?
Yeah, really tough to take. I would say not that difficult to explain when you saw the game. And to start with the 2 penalties. OK, so first and foremost, Napoli played a really good game. and we didn't. That is the first explanation for the defeat. There are 2 penalties we concede. Is for sure one, but both a little bit unlucky. But well, maybe penalties at least you can give them. Only one goes in. Then the next 2 goals we serve on the plate pretty much. That's not cool, and we should defend it better in the first place. But then of course in the last moment as well. And yeah, then 3-0 down, having kind of chances, never really in the game. We were not compact, neither defensively nor offensively, like together. Until Thiago entered the pitch, I can't remember one counter-pressing situation. The reason for that is because we are just too wide. We try to sort the situation by ourselves with a little dribbling here or there. Cannot really play together, are not connected. So it was everything obvious. Why it happened, that's now the question. That's really, I cannot answer it now. Give me a little bit time to think about it. It's a really tough cookie to take, but obviously I have to take it.
It's quite difficult to recall a first half like that under your time. I mean,
yeah, we played bad first halves, unfortunately, but of course usually we don't concede 3 goals, and with Alisson back in the goal, it's even if you have to be really bad that happens, but we were bad enough. So no, it's true. We played here when we lost 2-0. That was an awful game as well. The 1-0 was just they scored late, but it was not a good game. I will not say that was now because of we play here, but so now we have to. It's a little bit looks like we have to reinvent ourselves. So it's really, there's a lot of things lacking, not in all games, but now the fun part is we have to do that in the middle of a Premier League season and in a Champions League campaign. In 3 days we play against Wolves, and when they saw the game tonight, they cannot stop laughing. Probably, and think, oh my God, that's a perfect moment. I would say it's a perfect moment, but we have to try to find a setup to be much better in pretty much everything, and yeah, 3 days time.
It's the kind of result that makes the players to look at each other, look at themselves. A lot of soul searching.
Yeah. It's a lot of self searching. You could see it on the pitch. We were we were not working as a team, and there's nothing to do with personal stuff or whatever, or pointing at each other. It's just in football. If you have problems, there's always a solution. It's always football. But it's. We don't play good enough, so that's clear. That's obvious. It's what everybody sees, and that's why I lose games. The opponents we have, we play in the strongest league in the world and have a pretty good Champions League group as well. So yeah, that's tough, but it's still the job to do. It's my responsibility. I will. I'm. How I said, I need time to think about it. I cannot now say immediately this, and that. And the few things are really obvious, but that's not so important. It's much more important why we do that. And that's my job to find that out. And then we have to reset and go. Thank you.
By it, isn't he?
I don't think he's confused. I think he's picking his words carefully. He's got a team to rebuild in terms of for the weekend, build confidence. You can't go out there and shoot people down straight after a game. He's got to reflect. I think he took the right route because he could easily. I think that you can see the anger behind all of that, and the cutting comment he made there that stuck out in my mind and made me raise my eyebrows was we need to reinvent ourselves. It's a big statement to make that. I think right there he knows there's individuals that he's going to go and grill for the performance and. Recovery runs is one of the things that we were talking about. Players ambling back and not smelling danger, and they're not reacting to danger, and that then leans on desire and commitment. You can't have those things being questioned. And I don't think the way he sets his teams up, the way Klopp's teams have been successful for the last few years at Liverpool, is built on commitment. Is built on overrunning teams, overpowering teams, more sprints. Do you know what I mean? Driving over teams, and he's not going to get that with the way that the team is playing right now.
So, do you think he has the answers and understands this problem? Because I remember when he left Dortmund. Do you remember when he said, "I couldn't work out a plan B. I couldn't solve the problem." But we don't, or the Liverpool fans certainly don't want to see a repeat of that, do they?
I think he'll know more answers after he watched the game. I think Rio said he's measured in what he's saying tonight, but he'll watch the game and he'll say exactly the same things. I mean, Rio pointed out about obviously reinventing himself. I think one of the big things I picked up there was obviously the solution after after the problem. You know what? You're away from home. What I've said before, keep tight. You don't have to score goals. Keep it tight. Keep the crowd quiet. Go and make the game hard for them. And football can be complicated. We make it as complicated as we want. But you know what? It's a simple game. If players are talking to each other, communicating, helping each other out, the game becomes easier. If you pass the ball with a little bit of zip, players can get hold of the ball and you can turn and find the teammates. But the big thing is the concentration levels and communication. And that's what I didn't see from Liverpool tonight. And I'm a massive Liverpool fan. I love Liverpool. But it hurt me tonight watching them. Really did.